welcome back to the West Ham Network channel. My name is Harry, and in today's video I'll be previewing the West Ham vs Anderlecht game at Lotto Park in Belgium. Another game back in the Europa Conference League, and with another win against Anderlecht, West Ham should be sitting pretty comfortable in the table, with 9 points almost guaranteeing us into the knockout rounds. Today's game will be arguably against our toughest opponents in the group, and if the unfortunate was to happen and we lose, Anderlecht would go above us and sit top of the table. That is why tonight's game is very important, as we could clear a 5-point gap with a win. Although this season we haven't seen the best of the West Ham team, we do seem to be doing okay in the Conference League. And with a win over Wolves on the weekend, the side should regain some confidence and can now hopefully look to go on an unbeaten run that will see both of us climb up the Premier League table as well as pull away from the other teams in the Conference League. Before we get into West Ham's lineup, let's have a look at our opposition Anderlecht. Anderlecht are sitting 10th in their retrospective league and are somewhat having a disappointing start to the season with 4 wins, 1 draw and 5 losses. Obviously we've got to remember they finished 3rd in their league last season. This could stem from key players leaving like Josh Cullen, a player most West Ham fans will know very well, and other players like Sergio Gomez, who just signed for Manchester City. Also, one of the biggest departures was their manager Vincent Kompany, who of course is now in the Championship side with Burnley. So I think it's safe to say they aren't the same side as they were last year and have got slightly weaker. If we look at how I think they will line up now, I think they will go with a back 3 in a formation of a 3-5-2, a formation they have used heavily this season. Although I won't go through their entire team, I picked out a few players who West Ham could look out for. In the heart of defence is Jan Vertonghen, who a lot of West Ham fans will remember from his time at Tottenham. Although not entirely the player he once was, he's still an experienced figure in his Anderlecht side, and the 35-year-old is still a good defender. West Ham fans might also recognise his defensive partner, Wesley Hoedt, from his time at Southampton. Have a look at their 3-man midfield now. They are quite young and all under the age of 25. Jari Verscharen is their more creative player, a 21-year-old Belgian midfielder who West Ham will need to keep quiet during the game. The strike force is what West Ham should worry about slightly. A very experienced player in Leo Refilov next to a promising star in Fabio Silva. Fabio Silva is their top goal scorer with 4 this season, who's on loan from Wolves. He seems to be relatively in good form this season and is thriving from playing next to someone more experienced, who's providing him and the rest of the side with assists. Refilov is a top assister within this Anderlecht side with 4 assists and also has contributed to 2 goals to go along with that. With 2-man strike partnership, will David Moyes look to go back to his back 5 system in order to deal with this? I guess we'll have to find out. Well, before we get into West Ham and how their lineup will look, let's have a look at a player to watch out for off the bench. Promising Italian attacker Sebastian Esposito may look to come off the bench to cause West Ham some problems. Although he hasn't kick-started his season off just yet, he has a very high pedigree and is only on loan at Anderlecht from his parent club Inter Milan, so this is definitely someone to keep an eye out for. Now moving on to West Ham, as I said earlier, this is an important game for us in order to pull away from the rest of the group and look to get into the knockouts comfortably. With a win over Wolves on the weekend, West Ham form may be turned around, and coming into this game with a bit more confidence will do us the world of good. I think David Moyes will go with a back 5 purely down to the 2-striker formation Anderlecht use. We don't really see a lot of this in the Prem, but in my opinion this will be good game management from Moyes. In goal will be Areola, who of course is still our cup goalkeeper. At right wing back will go Kufal, who is currently being kept outside due to Kara in the Premier League. The 3 centre backs will be Kreza on the left, Ogbonna through the middle and Thilo Kehrer to the right of him, which will give the defence a bit more pace. At left wing back I think he will play Emerson there. He looked good in his short cameo against Wolves. And the 2 in midfield will be Declan Rice, who of course is nailed on to start, and next to him will be Flynn Downs, giving him another opportunity for him to impress. Now onto the left wing role, he'll go with Ben Rama, obviously due to injuries to Maxwell Cornet. On the right hand side he'll stick with Bowen after his impressive performance against Wolves, and the starting striker I think will be Mikel Antonio, and hopefully he will look to prove a point to Moyes that he should be starting over Scamacca. That's not me saying I think Antonio is better, but I think that it's important to create some competition, especially in that starting striker role. If of course Moyes does decide to stick with a 4-back, then Creswell would come out, Emerson would go into left back and Fornals would come in the number 10 position. So that is my predicted lineup, something a bit different to combat Anderlecht's strike partnership. I do think we will get a result from this game however, and I'm going to go with a 3-0 win, with goals from Antonio, Bowen and Scamacca off the bench. That is it guys for my prediction. Let me know what you think in the comments and also tell me how you'd like to set up the team. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe. See you in the next one. Nothing ever stays the same. Once you let it
like a family tree.